Hi, I'm Johnny Gurney, and when I'm not working on the Pixar Theory, I am listening to the Disney Parks Podcast.
Welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com and Parkhopper John from WDWParkhoppers.com. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times, and get ready for the Disney Parks Podcast.
This week, it's sponsored by ThemeParkConcierge.com. Theme Park Concierge is your one-stop shop for that personal VIP experience around Disneyland, Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal, Busch Gardens, Space Coast, Legoland, all of those things. They will take you there, take you around the park, get you on the lines, maybe even skip a couple lines with their fast passes or their knowledge or, their tips and tricks and things like that. Plan your whole vacation for you and your family and your whole little entourage. So give them a call at 407-257-9973. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Ramon VIP Concierge, or they have a website with all the information that you need to know at www.themeparkconcierge.com. And tell them the Disney Parks Podcast sent you, and they'll take 10% off your bill. So that is the Theme Park Concierge.
And now, the Disney Parks Podcast infotainment segment.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. My name is Parkhopper John. I come to you from www.parkhoppers.com. Joining me on the other side of the internet is Mr. Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com. And joining us, we have a very special guest as our friend Steve Sanders, who just got back from a trip to the motherland of all trips, Shanghai Disneyland. Welcome to the show, Steve, and I can't wait to dig in and talk about Disneyland over in Shanghai.
Oh, it's great to be here. It's like, I listen to every podcast since, believe it or not, day one.
Holy mackerel.
I am
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we can talk about that some other time, but yeah. Yeah.
We owe you big time.
There may be some alcohol that's needed.
Yes, I'm out. So,
Yeah.
All right, so tell Steve, so you went to Shanghai. How long were you there for? How long was this trip for?
I actually was there for 11 days. Yeah, I know. This is actually the longest vacation I've ever taken since my son was born 28 years ago. So at least, that many days in a row.
Yeah.
I left on September 16th and got there. That's a Friday, and got there on Saturday at 7 p.m. So it was a long flight.
Yeah. What does one do in a tin can for that long?
It's amazing. You can really do a lot of things. The airline itself entertains you pretty well. You've got everything from games and TV and TV shows and movies. And right. I pretty much tried. I was so paranoid about being there on my own that I was doing everything I could to try to memorize my Chinese lessons that I've been taking. So
right, yeah. So that'll bring up another question. But all right, so where did you stay? Let's start with the accommodations. I think you stayed at my favorite place on the planet.
Yep.
So which of the two resorts did you stay at?
Well, you have a choice of two. The Disneyland Hotel, which is really nice. And then I stayed at the Toy Story Hotel, which I guess you could kind of call it more the Pop Century, or it's kind of in between like a pop and a moderate resort.
Right.
So,
right. Were they, the same theming over the top as we would expect, here in the States?
I wouldn't say over the top. I'd say just really good. The lobby, and hopefully one of these days, once I get through all my photographs, I did a pretty extensive survey of the Toy Story Hotel. Everything from carpeting to, every floor has its own when you get out, it tells you what floor you're on, and it's pretty unique the way they do it. And hopefully, I can send that to you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I know they did that too at the Art of Animation. Each floor had a different piece of art. Kind of when the elevator doors open up, I think that was to kind of remind you what floor you're on. If you didn't see up, it's not that. I need to go up to a different floor. So very cool. So did they, all right, so what kind of, I spoke about the tickets a little bit, but what kind of tickets do you get for an 11-day trip? Did you go other places, or was it just there?
No, there were 4 of the days I had. 2 of the days I actually just kind of went around the resort area. But I was there in the parks for 7 days. Wow. And I usually did, the first 3 days I did a 1-day and then a 2-day ticket, because that's the maximum you can do is a 2-day ticket, except for that ticket that you were talking about that comes out, November 16th?
Yeah, right.
It's not even showing up on their site yet, but that's pretty good. But a 2-day ticket usually comes around to $55 to $60 a day, and a 1-day is I think $70 to $75. So
okay,
that's not bad.
And they don't have actual ticket media, right? You had to use, I think it's iPhone or whatever phone. Right? Is that
no, actually I did have kind of like the Disneyland type. I had an actual piece of paper that I just took up. Yeah. And then the other days that I bought tickets, because I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to split everything up. And I would go to concierge and say, hey, I need 2 days, their 2-day ticket. And boom, they print it up right there for you on an actual card, which.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like our plastic cards.
Yes. But like a real plastic card. So,
yeah. Cool.
So did you have any reservations traveling by yourself? You mentioned that you were by yourself. How was that experience? I know I want to get into the parks and stuff too, but how was that experience traveling to Shanghai alone with the language barrier? Did you handle that? Was there enough signage in English that you could kind of make your way there? How difficult was it?
It was not difficult at all. I was so surprised. All the worry of trying to remember Chinese, which I don't do very well, I didn't need. Shanghai is very westernized. So everything pretty much is written in English and in Chinese. So, and your concierge, all your cast members there at the hotels speak very good English. Not perfect, or sometimes a little bit difficult to get some things across, but overall, you don't need to know that much. I like doing it because I find it kind of a courtesy if you go to someone else's country to learn.
Sure,
right,
totally.
Yeah. But no, as far as that, it was not a problem at all. And as far as being as worried about being on my own, no, I do a lot of solo trips to Walt Disney World and Anaheim and stuff like that. Thank you to my wife, Sheila, for allowing me to do that. Nice. And it was her idea for me to actually go on this one. And besides the fact she was in Canada at the time, but there's not near as much fear as you would have of traveling to downtown Orlando or any other metro area. Not at all. It's just that the crime just really isn't there. You have to watch out for pickpockets and maybe a little prostitution, which I did not see at all. Yeah. But those are the main things that you can get in trouble with. So
cool. Right.
Good.
All right. So I don't want to try and compare it to, one of our parks here, because you probably really can't. But it's got to be somewhere near a Walt Disney World in size, I would think.
Yeah. One of the biggest things about Shanghai that is different than any of the other parks, your walkways are so much wider. Everything is a lot wider so that it doesn't look like there are as many people there. And considering that their park there basically has a 25 million person availability within like what 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So they kind of prepared very well for it. And from the looks of some of the open spaces that are around there, they're planning on a whole lot more attractions and things coming there.
So let's talk about the big crown jewel in the middle of the park, their castle. That thing is, from pictures that we can see, it looks huge.
It is.
So what's in there? How tall is it? Do we know? What's...
Actually, I am not sure about. No one's even asked about how tall it is.
All right. Well, me, Disney by the numbers guy.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. It is the biggest castle. It's to represent all the princesses, not just one or two. There is an attraction that goes up through the top of it. It's a walking attraction. There is a restaurant in there, which didn't get a chance to see.
Right.
And there is actually an attraction that goes up underneath it in a boat.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they really did this castle. I could not stop taking pictures of this thing. Morning, noon, night, dusk. It's an absolute gorgeous castle.
Yeah, I'm sure it's lit up pretty spectacular.
Yes, yeah, they really did a good job with that.
It'd be interesting to see what they do like at Christmas time. Our castles, they drape all those lights. I mean,
yeah.
We're at 500,000 here. I can't even. It's probably like over 2 million for that castle alone. So
yeah, the one thing, and I don't know how well. I'm not sure of the Christmas holiday how it's celebrated there. So you're liable to see possibly more of a celebration around Chinese New Year. So
yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, even what they do with the mapping.
Mm-hmm.
The digital mapping videos and things like that is absolutely unreal. I mean, they really got a nice big canvas to work with there.
Yeah, yeah.
So when it comes to the park, when it comes to the park itself,
mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's laid out very similar to other Disney parks. So we've talked about some of the lands there. Was there one or two lands that really stuck out to you?
Oh, absolutely. Main Street, which they don't really have, it's called Mickey Avenue. You do see that as you walk through, where you walk up under a train, what looks like to us a train trestle, but there's really no train there. So it would be nice to see him bring that. But two of the best areas that are there are the Pirate Cove and Adventure Isle. And they're actually kind of right next to each other and a little bit off to the right side of the park and around a lagoon where you actually can go to the right and go into Adventure Isle, where they have canoes almost like the Anaheim or, the Disneyland canoes. They have the river ride, which unfortunately I didn't get a chance to go on. And then it kind of wields its way around past a really big, beautiful mountain with a waterfall on it.
Wow.
And on into Pirate Cove, which just itself, the Imagineering and all the art and thought and everything that went into it is just you can't stop just staying there and going there. It's just amazing what they did.
Yeah, it all sounds spectacular, and I was, trying to follow you along on your trip as you were posting your pictures. I'm like, oh my god, it's awesome. Some of they have some of the same attractions we have. So let's take something like Pirates, because I saw some video of Pirates, and I'm sure the video doesn't even do this thing justice.
No.
But what, how much different is that attraction, say, from the ones here in the States?
This is not your dad's Pirates
Right.
of the Caribbean. It's in no way, shape, or form. It's not really even comparable.
Okay.
The animatronics are totally different, and they use a wide screen and wide screens in there to just a totally different. It's not the same feeling. Plus the fact you don't really have some of that, that like what we like or what we're used to, the old fashioned animatronics with give us the redhead and we want the redhead, and this is just, I mean, your jaw's dropping through the whole thing with all the stuff that's going on. I wrote it like 4 or 5 times in a row. The first time I had to do it with the camera, the digital camera, and the second time I'm like, heck with this, I want to see this show.
Yeah,
and for me, it was my number one attraction that I was there.
Wow. Yeah, see, that would be the thing too. Is I wouldn't want to experience my entire trip through my camera lens. I really want to enjoy it, and it's great to take all the pictures, but I don't want to be like the whole time walking around.
Well, that was the blessing of being there for 10 days.
Yeah,
I was able to do that. I actually thought, and I ran into a couple that had just come from Hong Kong and were there in Shanghai, and then were on their way to Tokyo. They were doing the whole trifecta. And I heard of a lot of other people that were doing that, but no one ever seemed to stay more than 2 or 3 days in Shanghai. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hang. I'm just going to stay and absorb as much of this park as I can. And that's pretty much what I did. That and some of the surrounding area. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. I think I was able to bring back. I took over 2,400 pictures, and I'm still haven't gone through all the videos that we did. So, hoping to still put out some of those.
Right. So let's talk about another, I think, kind of old school attraction, Peter Pan's Flight. What's some of the differences of theirs compared to ours?
Time-wise, I would really say it's about the same. Okay. It seems to go a little quicker. I wish they kind of would slow it down a little bit where you would kind of get more out of it. But there is different things. You're actually flying through the nursery, where you're flying over the boat and over the Mermaid Lagoons, a little not quite as nice as as our home parks. But overall it's a lot nice, smooth ride. And a couple of the things in there, no spoilers, but a couple of the things in there are much more updated than what we're used to seeing here. Yeah.
I thought I saw a video where it didn't look like, when you're looking down on stuff, it wasn't, a flat thing like we have in ours. It was more 3-dimensional.
It is.
Captain Hook or Peter Pan, it wasn't a flat cardboard thing. It was kind of, an actual piece of plastic or something that was sculpted or whatever.
Actually, yeah, it is. And it's kind of semi-animatronic. So it's not, completely, fully that way. But yeah.
Right. How about the Seven Dwarf Mine Train? It's fairly new for us. So did they make any improvements in the short time over at Shanghai?
No, it's actually the same ride other than the fact that it's pretty much all in Chinese, which is really neat.
Right.
So they're singing "Hi Ho" in Mandarin, and that is kind of neat. It's neat.
Yeah. Hey, if you know the words, you can sing along.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Right. Any other classic attractions to you want to ask about? Because you know what I'm going to ask about.
Yep, go ahead. Bring it on.
So, Steve, tell me about Tron.
Oh, absolutely. You mean something like this, Tron? I know no one can hear, see this on the radio.
Just don't rub it in.
That goes on my work truck.
That's awesome.
That goes on my pickup.
He basically showed us a piece of artwork that's got like the Tron Cycle with Mickey Mouse riding it. So eat your heart out, everybody. Yeah. Steve didn't bring one for everyone.
No, I probably should have brought some, but Tron, my first ride, I actually spent my first 2 days basically taking pictures of stuff because I just wanted to kind of get it out of my system and then be able to, kind of commando the rides. but unfortunately the camera kind of kept taking over in different spots in the recorders and stuff. So my first time on Tron, I forgot even what day, I think it was Sunday. I got there early. I met a couple from Arizona, and we all three of us got on the ride, and I ended up being on the front row for my very first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And let me tell you something, the videos, and unfortunately you need a GoPro to do the video on there. I had a regular handheld 4K, and it just, no, I wasn't going to, I don't think they would let me. And I was too scared to try it anyway. Right. But yeah, the ride is awesome. And yeah, they do need to bring that here. I don't think it'd be a big deal, because I don't believe it my hotel was actually right next door to the backside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Of the ride, but it's everything you see plus. And that's one of the other things I'll tell you right now, guys, watch all you want on YouTube, because really you're not going to get it. It's not, there's very few things that I've ever seen on YouTube that can match actually doing it or being there. So yeah, I don't see that being a spoiler, at least not for me. It wasn't a spoiler.
Yeah.
But Tron was awesome.
So where would you put Tron if you were going to put it here in the Disney World or Disneyland? Well, you couldn't put it in Disneyland, I don't think. I don't think there'd be enough space there. No. Unless they put it in like California Adventure.
Yeah, I'd have to go there. Yeah. Can we actually make Tomorrowland a Tomorrowland and put it there?
I love you.
Why not?
Can we?
Why not?
Love you so hard right now.
Aren't they? Aren't they getting rid of Stitch? Why can't we put it somewhere around there? Get rid of the blue rocks and a little bit to the side and put it in there.
Autotopia can go. I mean, how many kids can ride Autotopia? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be more excited about riding Tron?
Oh, you would. Yeah. And before you get off the Tron thing, I know, again, I'll take a pic. I have not even posted this yet. I just uncovered it, but they had popcorn bucket.
Oh my God.
And I wasn't really interested in the popcorn bucket till my friends bought some for their friends in the States, and he bumped it by accident, and it did that.
What?
Yes, and the wheels lit up, and I told him, I'm like, okay, I got to have one.
Wow. All right, so did you bring a whole extra suitcase for your goodies?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I had a lot of
smart planning.
That's great.
I literally did bring 2 suitcases. I mean, I brought one, getting off the plane in China, but I knew I had quite an order. Bubba had asked for one of those, and I knew they were going to be kind of bulky. So,
right.
Yeah.
What is this Buzz Lightyear Planet Rescue? Is this just the same thing we have here?
Yes, but it's so much better, I think.
Number one, it is.
It's not. But it's not. Ours is great, but my wife and I fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets control of the
car
in the car,
right?
And then you can't move. The guns. It's like Disneyland. You can actually pick them up, shoot around, shoot over your head. And the targets are lit up a little bit better.
Okay.
So you can kind of tell, being on a ride like that, the smaller target's going to be worth more. So you kind of aim for those. But basically, it's the same ride, but it's still a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hey, cool. You got any other stuff, John? What else did you?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got a list of things here. No other attractions. Let's talk a little bit about some of the. You've mentioned some of the wider walking areas, and they've planned for growth. What are some of the other major differences? Like, as an example, when you go from Walt Disney World to Disneyland, or vice versa, the differences are very glaring. If you're like Disneyland or the Magic Kingdom, did you have that kind of experience over there? What were some of the differences that maybe caught your attention, or were so obvious that we would have to adjust a little bit to them?
I think one of the biggest things I noticed is, number one, you can see the castle from anywhere in that park.
Wow.
It doesn't really take you out, like when you're in Pirate Cove. It doesn't really take you out of seeing it because they do a pretty good job of just keeping you involved in what's there. But you can also see the mountain over at Adventure Isle from Tomorrowland.
Right.
You could see the top of Tron from Pirate Cove. So they didn't really concentrate much on trying to hide things like we're kind of used to seeing. You don't see certain things outside of its own element.
Do you think that as the landscaping changes, like the trees grow, or is it without having seen it,
Right.
would they have those elements built in, or do you think they're just fine with, well, this is the way it is? Because I know we have trees that block a lot of the views.
Yeah, and I can't wait to find out next year. But I don't think they're going to get the trees that much because some of the mountains and stuff like that, it's just too tall. So, but I am interested in seeing that to see how the growth over the next year hides other things like that to kind of keep it together. But they didn't seem, again, it's not going to matter what trees grow there. You're going to see that castle from everywhere. They're very proud of that, and they should be.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
What are some of the entertainment offerings over there?
Yeah, let's talk about, I think, The Lion King, which I think is a separate ticketed show.
Yes, and I actually went.
Oh, very cool.
I knew it was going to be completely in Mandarin because that was one of the things that other people had talked about. But it's The Lion King. We all know the story.
Yeah.
And it didn't bother me one bit. Matter of fact, during Hakuna Matata, where the part where it's like, Pumbaa, not in front of the kids, it and you laugh, even though you don't understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
You can follow the stories. And the actors that were there were fantastic.
Right.
All Chinese. And they did a wonderful job of portraying everything. And it's a tiny stage.
Is it really?
It is a tiny stage.
Wow.
And how they put everything and how they do it it's really a masterpiece of work of how they did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have, it's in a separate building.
Yes. It's in its own building.
Yeah. I would have thought they would have built like a massive place for it.
I was expecting the same thing, and it's not. I'd probably say about 4,000 or 5,000 people seat. Might be a little more than that. I don't know.
Right.
But they have not an actual orchestra, but they have guys that are doing the music and doing percussion on both sides of the stage, up kind of high. So,
cool.
Yeah, and you look at them at first, but all of a sudden, once the actors are out there, you almost forget about them. So it's a excellently produced play. It really is. Yeah.
What about the pirate stunt show that I've seen videos of? It looks amazing.
Yep, I have seen videos of it too because it was in refurbishment when I was there.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple. Some of the shows, I almost actually went to the Frozen sing along that they have there, and it's apparently a very huge venue there. But when you're traveling alone and you're a single older gentleman and you're around a bunch of little, you just don't feel comfortable.
We know that you want to sing for the first time in forever. Come on, we know.
Yes, I would, but some of the moms may not want me there. Why?
You also don't want to be arrested in Shanghai either.
Yeah,
I hear the jails are a little rough.
Yeah,
didn't want to find out.
Yeah, did you? Go ahead, buddy.
I was going to say, what jail? You're talking about a dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. So did you get to catch any other entertainment options while you're there?
Yeah, they have a band that comes out there on Mickey Avenue and I got to see them twice, and they were really good. I've got a couple. I think I've got one part of one of the shows posted on my Facebook.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Oh, did you see it? Okay, yeah. Playing Happy.
Yep.
Yeah. Those guys were great. And I'm going to try to get that up. My wife, I'm still trying to get the editing done on it because my first time with the camera, some of the shots were split up. So I'm trying to get them to all run together. But that was really good. They put on a nice little show. They have good interaction with the people around there. Their parade is probably my second favorite parade, maybe third, second or third.
It's called the Mickey Storybook Express.
Yes.
Is that their daytime?
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, they actually only have one. Sometimes they do it twice, usually at 12 and at the ever typical 3 o'clock parade.
Right.
But it's a really good show. Of course, my favorite is Paint the Night, and then the second is Walt Disney World's. I pulled a blank.
Spectrum Magic?
No, 3 o'clock parade.
Festival of Fantasy.
Festival of Fantasy. Yeah. So this one is really up there, and they've got really great audio that goes along with it. So it's a lot of fun.
And how about their nighttime, Ignite the Dream?
Ignite the Dream is really good. Don't go there expecting to see a fantastic fireworks show. You would think so. You're in China. That's kind of where fireworks were started, invented.
Yeah, exactly.
The show is actually the digital mapping all on the castle, and it's really good. And then the fireworks just accent it.
Right.
So, and then they have an after when everybody leaves, they kind of have a Kiss the Night program right there on it also, which is good. I hope they have that one up. So I kind of stayed late one night.
Did they do anything else on their nighttime show, like lasers, water cannons, fire throwers?
Yeah, I need to get a little closer. They did a little bit of the water. There's a lot of water in front of the castle.
Okay.
That they do they have a show that they do in front of the castle, which is, they do a great job with it, especially trying to do it. I think they do it like 7 or 8 times a day.
Right.
And it's quite a bit, quite a production. And it kind of incorporates some of that with the stage at night with the water shooting up. It's not super impressive, but and the lasers they have there it's kind of like what you see at Epcot, where they really shoot out over the whole area. So
cool.
But it's all part of that one show. So it's really.
Yeah. See, in parks like that, they're building the castle and the castle stage with the knowledge that they are going to have stage shows. Like here in the Magic Kingdom, the whole stage was an afterthought. Many years after the park was open. Same thing in Disneyland. So, I'm sure it's a high tech stage even.
It is. There's a lot of lifts that go up and down, lifting the characters and stuff like that. It's they put a lot of money into that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about go ahead, John.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's discuss the food options because, Tony and I, we like to eat. We like to eat our way around Disney. So what was the experience like with food for you at Shanghai Disneyland?
Okay. It was Shanghai Disneyland is a locals park. So you're going to get a lot of the locals food. And that's what it is. It's a lot of Chinese style food. Don't go there and expect to, number one, find a good hamburger.
Yeah, no. I've been to Paris and,
good.
Their Disneyland has no clue what a burger tastes like.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad to know that because that was not, no. No, it was
fair enough.
Burger,
Give the burger a pass is what you're saying.
Yeah, but one of the things over at Pirate Cove, I'm sure you heard about, was Barbarossa's.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Right. Yeah.
you want to talk. I mean, it's not just a restaurant. It's a place to go look. I mean, it's its own little attraction. I cannot believe, I don't even know how many rooms. I tried to go around, take pictures and stuff for everybody. And it was like, I was getting kind of looks from from some of the cast members, like, why are you in here taking pictures of our pictures? So but it's just amazingly themed through the art. Part of the Pirates of the Caribbean actually goes through it a little bit like the one in Anaheim. So,
right.
But not quite as long.
Yeah.
But
any strange menu items?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The first time I'm at Barbarossa's, I'm like, well, let's do what everybody else everybody else here would do and order the squid. Squid looks good.
Squid.
Yeah. Squid looks okay. I like calamari, so let's order it. So I go up and order. And of course, the Chinese gentleman there, so I asked for the squid, and he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, okay. And so I get it, and I go to my table and, kind of sit down. I got a recorder out. We're taking pictures and everything. And this had to be there must have been something wrong with that one. Because it was not squid. It was squid jerky.
I was going to say, oh, okay. I was like, special needs? I mean, was it still alive? Was it tap dancing across your table?
No, this thing died a very long time ago. Very long time ago. And unfortunately, I don't think it died in water. It was so tough.
You think it was clubbed to death on the dock?
It was dead before it hit the dock.
Hey, Chen, we got a guy from America who's ordered a squid. Give him the 10-day-old. He'll never know.
Yep. He doesn't know.
Oh, God.
Well, I knew because a few hours after that, by pure coincidence, I run into a guy, and he asks, I'm in front of a pretzel cart, and he says, don't you want a pretzel? And I say, no. I said, no, I think I'm going to do something else. And the guy standing behind him, who's Caucasian, kind of perked up when he heard me. And he goes, oh, hey, I'm glad to see you here. And he was Australian, and he was asking me about my trip, where I was from and stuff. And it just so happened he was the director of all of the food in Shanghai Disneyland Resort.
Did you show him a picture of the squid?
Yep. Before I found out who he was, unfortunately. So I don't know. He did give me his card. I am going to write him a letter, but yeah, I was like, okay, so yeah, all your food's great except the squid. Of course, he did tell me try the ribs.
Oh, wow.
And I did. And just real quick, that is fun because it's probably as funny as it was for them to see me eating a squid, even though it was tough. I'm watching everyone else. I guess ribs on a bone are not a popular thing there. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
So there are two girls sitting in front of me. They actually have gloves on, eating the ribs with their hands. Okay, cool. There's a guy over to the right of me who's looking at the rib and trying to cut it with a knife. So he gets it cut with the knife, and then he's trying to pick it up with the chopsticks. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, I don't know how to eat this. I mean, I do know how to eat it, but I'm like, I'm from the South. So,
yeah.
And finally I'm like, you know what? I'm doing my thing. They laugh at me, whatever,
Right.
So I start eating with my fingers, trying to be as dainty as possible, which is near impossible. These ribs are absolutely fantastic too, by the way. Great spice, more of a Chinese spice, but really good. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, I look over and there's the other two people who must have been watching me, have gotten rid of their chopsticks and are using their fingers and just chawing away. Just the way it is supposed to be done.
I was going to say, you should have just stood up on the table and said, listen, people, this is the way we're going to eat this.
Yeah.
Follow me.
But I mean, I had to say that because I'm not that great with chopsticks, but after
Mm.
watching everybody else,
Right.
I learned, and
Yeah.
it was great. It was a lot of fun.
I would have just sat there and went, Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. Yep.
So-
I thought about it, but again, when you're kind of on your own, you're a little more attuned to what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
a little more careful about what you do. So
Was that the
Yeah.
best meal you had? The ribs?
close.
Okay.
My breakfast at the hotel were just awesome. Every morning, dim sum and what they call a congee. And the congee it's almost like a Chinese porridge. And it's got chicken and rice and floating tea eggs. That's different too, seeing boiled brown eggs. But
Yeah.
absolutely, the food there was great, other than the squid. So,
Wow.
and one little thing as far as treats are concerned, one of the fun things I did get to do, they had the Mickey bar.
Woo!
They have a Mickey bar, but not only do they have a Mickey bar, they have a mini bar. And no, not a mini bar.
Wow.
We have alcohol. This is a mini bar shaped like Minnie, and it has white chocolate with strawberry ice cream on the inside.
Wow.
Get out.
Yeah.
Dude.
White chocolate, strawberry ice cream.
Yes, and it was great. I had two.
Wow.
And also because Donald Duck is always left out so much, they actually had a rainbow, looked like kind of I didn't get one, but it looked like a rainbow sherbet Donald Duck bar.
Holy mackerel.
So, yeah.
A rainbow Donald Duck bar and a mini bar.
Yes.
So you said that the breakfast was good. What were there other dining options at the resorts? We pride ourselves here having great food at the different resorts. What was the eating outside of breakfast was great? What was the eating like at the resorts for you?
They really had a good variation, especially as small as the restaurant was at Toy Story. I really would have liked to have tried some of the stuff at the Disneyland Hotel, which you could do a whole show on that. It is the most gorgeous. You take Grand Floridian
Mm-hmm.
and you take Disneyland or the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel, and you can bump that up a good 5 degrees. It's that much more elegant, that much more beautiful. Everything that I may have found a problem with at my hotel, kind of because I'm a tile guy, the tile was not that good. It's one of the first things you notice, I do anyway. But all the stonework, the marble work, everything done at Disneyland Hotel is just impeccably immaculate.
Wow.
Unbelievable how beautiful that place really was. But food-wise, a lot of noodles, a lot of stuff you would find Chinese. They don't get into the spice. You can add it, which I did because they really have some good spices for their stuff. But a lot of the noodles, a lot of pork dishes. Some of actually the best pork dish I had was over in because I was expecting on the picture it shows this little piece of pork, on some vegetables and stuff. I'm like, that looks okay. I go in, they throw out this slab. It must have been almost a pound of pork tenderloin. And I mean, it was tender.
Nice.
This thing was done perfect. Yeah, it was. And with corn on the cob, their corn on the cob's unique.
Wow.
But yeah, the food it's really good. And for Shanghai, it is kind of expensive compared to the food outside of the parks.
Right.
But it's, we're used to kind of high dollar food anyway. So,
Right.
when we're in the park. So it's comparable. It's really comparable.
Right. What is, how would you compare the prices of things? Hotel rooms, tickets, food, souvenirs.
Yeah. Hotel rooms mine was 1,000 yuan a night, which comes to, I think it was 100 with taxes was like $156 a night. The Disneyland hotel is bumping 320, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Souvenirs are a little cheaper. A pair of ears, what we pay, $22 for?
Yeah, probably.
22 is like 15.
Wow.
So the souvenirs overall are a little cheaper because I think they're trying to, the amount of money people make in that area is not really that high. And Disney is kind of at this point in time, even though there's 25 million people, they probably at this juncture have priced out probably a third right now to whereas they can't go on a regular basis. But then again, maybe they're not looking for that. I don't know.
Well,
Right.
plus the souvenirs, and I say this tongue in cheek, they're locally sourced.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was going to say it. I was going to go there.
Well, believe me, I kept looking for it. I would love to have found something that made in the USA. No, that wouldn't
That would have been funny.
I laugh at you.
Yes. Yes. And of course, it would have been about $10,000. So, but which they did have a pair of Mickey and Minnie ears that came to about $12,000.
$12,000?
Yes. It's like, yeah.
Well, the ears were like $20, and then the rest of it was to pay someone to put it on your head and take it off.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Gosh. They have a shopping Disney Town, right? I think that was it.
Yeah.
And from what I saw, it looked like almost like our new Disney Springs. It's all upscale kind of stores. There's a Lego store, a Croc store, but a lot of it was Pandora and other, high-end stores. So.
Yeah, it was all high-end. Matter of fact, I didn't even think about walking in because that's not me.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of restaurants in that area. It's Disney Town, believe it or not, is real small. You can basically walk from the Disney store, which is at the base of it, all the way up to Wolfgang Puck, which it's walking up the hill and back down in a matter of 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
It's not very big. They do pack in a lot of stuff though in there. So there are a lot of restaurants and like you said, the high end stores.
Yeah.
And not far away, which I stumbled upon on one of my days out of the park. I stumbled upon an outlet store, an outlet mall.
Wow.
And yeah, it was pretty neat. It's brand spanking new. And again, I don't know how this happened. I'm just walking around looking. I'm standing in front of the Godiva chocolates, which I did go in and have. A Caucasian guy walks up and goes, "Oh, hey, where are you from?" And it turns out he was the director of that entire outlet mall.
Wow.
So he took me back, introduced me to his staff, and so they kind of pointed some things out. And apparently, there's some kind of event or promotion going on about these rabbits. They had these plastic rabbits everywhere, and at night, I didn't get a chance to see them at night, but apparently at night they lit up.
Wow.
But yeah, it was. But there are shopping things out there for you people who like to shop.
Yeah. Now, did you get to go to the Disney store in Shanghai? Because they have a clock, the Glockenspiel clock there.
No. Okay, you meant the one actually in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Downtown. No, I was going to, and then I kind of got down towards the Bund and kind of hanging out in Yuyuan Gardens which was really beautiful. And I actually kind of forgot about going down there. So
Yeah. Okay.
But
There's one other store I saw pictures of, and I saw people, doing like Facebook Live. Was the Marvel Memento store? It was like all Marvel stuff. It was like the whole Marvel universe. I think it was in the Gardens of Imagination. Was where the store was. Yeah, Gardens of Imagination. Marvel's Mementos. Did you see anything like that?
No, I must have missed that.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to think.
We got to go back, man.
Yes.
We gotta go.
Fire up the jets. We're
Go
going back.
Come on, Marty. We got to go back.
Yeah, apparently some of the video and stuff I saw, they had like all the different action figures in like die-cast metal and one-of-a-kinds and all this kind of crazy stuff. I was like, what the hell is all of that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was a huge. Wow. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Now I'm like, where's my map? Oh, by the way, I got you guys maps. So.
Oh, very cool.
Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot.
So what's the biggest store that they have down there? We have like our, World of Disney store. Do they have anything of that magnitude there? Or?
Not near as big, no.
Yeah.
They do have the Disney store.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm trying to think, it's not even as big as, the one at Epcot.
Oh, the Mouse Gears?
Yeah, Mouse Gears. It's probably close to that.
Right.
But again, very nicely themed.
Mm-hmm.
The stores are, and it was kind of cool. I just happened to be looking up, and there's writing kind of going around a ring all the way around.
Right.
Because it's actually round shaped. And it was the Sherman Brothers lyrics to It's a Small World.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah, I really thought that was neat, and I haven't had a chance to send it to them yet. But I just like, hey, you guys, did you really think that when you started working for Disney that, 50 years from then you'd see your words in
Shanghai,
China? Yeah.
I know here in the States, if you come to, I think I know Disneyland has them. I've seen them in Epcot. I know for the guests that don't speak English, they can get like a headset that translates to their language. Do they have things like that in Shanghai that you know?
No, they don't. You're about the fifth person that's asked me about that.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not something, again, this is kind of more of a local park. So they're more attuned to their own people, which, by the way, it is kind of funny because the cast members will yell very harshly sometimes at the Chinese, but for me or someone else, if we're doing something wrong, it's like, oh, no, and they'll shepherd you in the right way. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you just yelled at that person badly for that. So yeah, we kind of get special treatment there.
Oh, cool. I like special treatment.
Yeah.
For now. Let's not go crazy.
For now.
Yeah. Right.
What was the one of the things that I was curious about is, and it sounds like you walked pretty much everywhere. What was the transportation situation like? I mean, I don't think you had to take Disney transportation anywhere, but did they have any of that kind of stuff set up for the future?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, I did take the bus every day because although there are walkways and I could have done it, they at the point right now, they make it very difficult for you to be on a sidewalk to get there. I think they learned that from the architects at Walt Disney World. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, well, if I could just walk across that grass right there,
right,
I could get there. But but one of the neat things, the buses run every 5-10 minutes. Of course, they're not that far away, and there's only one park. Right. And one of the coolest things about the Chinese buses is they are all electric.
Wow.
Yep. So I think I'd like to see that coming to.
Yeah. Well, we're using French fry oil, so.
That's true. Yeah. But if you really want to get around to everything, taxis are the cheapest way to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Any Uber in Shanghai?
Yeah, there is. There is Uber.
Wow.
I've never done Uber yet.
Right.
So, but no, they do have Uber, and they have something else there too. But taxi and the bus system is the easiest way to get around.
Right.
And like a taxi for me to get from the hotel to airport, which is 30, 40 minutes away, was, I think it was $15, $20, something like that.
Wow. That's cheap.
Yeah, one way. It was
So
cheap.
it's not run by Mears.
No, thank the Lord. No.
They're not charging you $70 to get to the airport.
No.
You're just only 15 miles from the airport.
No. Oh, as a matter of fact, there are black taxis, which they call them the black taxi. They don't have
Licenses?
Yeah. Well, actually, the one I got on did. But they don't have meters.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up, this is right when I got there, and I knew about it, and I'm like, don't do this. And he said, how much? And it was like 180 Ren. And I looked at it, and I looked at it and was like, well, that's $34. I'm like, that's not bad. Because the rates are higher at night. They charge more at night.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay. And I did everything wrong. I was lucky. I was real lucky. They were nice. They got me there. I think the main thing was the guy spoke English, and that's why I kind of, but you don't. Yeah, that's one of the things. Taxis, forget. They don't speak English.
Oh.
I think they do. They just don't want to.
Neither do the taxis here. So that should be normal.
That's true.
That's very true. All right, let's wrap up with some tips, Steve. What do you how do you go about let's talk about some tips of like, how do I go about this planning? And then, once I get there, do you have any, good tips for people?
At this time, unfortunately, I would like to say you could get a travel agent. But at this point in time, as far as I know, Disney travel agents or independent travel agents are not doing Shanghai right now. Right. So you pretty much you're on your own. I ended up getting a flight for $638 round trip, which is that's
pretty cheap.
Yeah. If you're going to stay on property, you're going to pay about double the amount, but it's worth it.
Right.
There are cheaper flights in the area, but let me tell you, I asked for a market, and the concierge and the bells, they are the best people in the world. Make friends with them because they are awesome. The day that I got there, the night that I got there, and everyone here's a neat thing too. Everyone has English names.
Oh, okay.
And they have their Chinese names. This is across not just Disney, but everywhere. Right. So the first guy he meets, Johnson. That's his name, Johnson. So he, gets me to the room and everything, and he helps me do all kinds of stuff. So if there's anything I can say, if you're in China, make sure you have a Johnson.
So, okay.
Let's not go there.
So
anyway,
I'm just hang on.
Okay,
let that moment go.
Yeah, catch up.
Let that moment go.
All right.
I've got too many jokes flowing in my head right now.
Yeah. Well, wait till I tell you where Johnson sent me.
Boy.
Oh God.
No, God bless his little cotton socks. I asked to go to a market. I just wanted this is about my 5th day there. I just wanted some junk food or something. So I told him about that, and he said, all right, gave me a card. Here it is. It's going to cost this much in the taxi, which is like $12. So I get there, and this place is like just like a hellhole. I'm like, there's broken glass. There's not much. There is a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a Papa John's, which was, and a Dairy Queen.
Wow.
And so that was kind of comforting, but I'm walking down. I end up finding a convenience store where I'm looking for everything that I think I'm wanting. Yeah. And so I walk in and I'm like, I don't know what any of this is. So I just went by the pictures, and got stuff. But
Wow. So, like, no American candies, M&M's, Kit Kats, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, nothing?
No, at least not. No, actually, there was some of that at the airport, but overall, no. But the food, you don't have to be super adventurous.
Right.
Half of the stuff I ate when I asked for it, I had no idea what it was. But then I was eating dim sum like nobody's business.
Right.
So, but the one of the other things too, I expect to see smoking. They're not cracking down on it. So there was a fair amount of that going on, and all the stuff about kids peeing in the bushes.
Yeah,
it's true.
Wow.
It's not rampant, but it's. I mean, it happens, and that's part of their culture. It's just, that's what they do.
Wow.
But you do see a lot of other China. I mean, it's kind of funny because you see the Caucasians laughing at little kids peeing in bushes, but yet you'll see the Chinese people walking by and kind of like, and they'll say stuff. They'll, it's like, hey, cut that out.
Right.
And the cutting in lines, it happens, but you know what? It's not a big. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not a matter of cut. If you leave a space, someone's going to fill it.
Right.
So, and no one argues about it. Yeah. It's just, all right, fine. You're not getting back, you just kind of step over. It's the people there are really much more laid back, as much of a busy and up and coming society that they are. They are very laid back. When I was showing the videos of walking through the park to my wife, she's like, nobody's yelling. Nobody's ramming strollers. Nobody's screaming at the kids that how much they paid for on that. Well, you wouldn't understood anyway, but
right.
But no, the people are the greatest thing. They really are, especially all the staff and stuff there at the resorts.
Yeah. Well, one last thing was I heard in like Tokyo, like if you go to, it's not Main Street, but whatever their Main Street area is, and you put down a towel to reserve a spot for the parade, and you can go away for 2-3 hours, that towel will still be there. Is it like that in Shanghai or?
No. The thing in Shanghai is especially the parade, and I know you're not much for this, but be prepared to be crammed in with people.
Yeah.
And when you're standing in one spot and there's nobody around, once that parade starts, they're all over you. And you just have to jockey. And everybody jockeys politely.
Right.
And you might have to gently push a little, and they might push a little back, but it's all, I had to fight to get my videos of the parade, but
wow, that's a shame.
It's not really that bad. I mean, it's like I said, it's like, everyone's on the same level. Everyone knows what everyone's going to do. So you're fine. I mean, at the parks, you don't know. You've got people from all different cultures.
Right.
And it's okay to do it here, but, this person's not doing that. It's like, hey, I'm going to slap you,
Right.
So it was chaos under control.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the, we on today's news show, we talking about new security possibly coming. What's the security procedures there? Is there bag checks and?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone goes through the metal detector. That is the longest line, especially in the morning. I mean, it's packed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and security there, again, this is a brand new park. Yeah. I was actually there on day 100. I didn't know it, but I got the girls at Concierge gave me a handwritten thing. It just almost brought me to tears. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for being here for 10 days. But the security there is kind of like, how we are. We have our bags open and, here, look at it, and we move along.
Right.
They look. They're bringing suitcases, rolling suitcases. bags, strollers, everything, and nobody opens anything.
Wow.
And that really, I watched every day I was there. It slows it up. But the nice thing about the security there is if they open it up, they zip it back up for you.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, the security it's not intense, but it's very thorough. And you're not allowed to bring food and stuff like that. They had just baskets of food that they were throwing away. So,
wow.
But security is, and there's a lot of it. That's why it's so safe around there.
Yeah.
There's security and police everywhere.
Wow. That's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Mr. Donahue?
No, I wish I'd been able to go with you. Thank you for all the insight and all the stories. Hopefully we can have you on again and we can dig a little deeper into it, and looking forward to seeing more videos and pictures on your Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's ask you the last magical question. Would you go back?
I'm planning right now.
Oh, really?
I was planning the day I got back.
Wow.
So yeah, I love it. It's a beautiful place. I guess the whole reason I went, I blame D23 because of that big kiosk they had there. I was like, oh my gosh. I started going through it, talking to people. I'm like, this might go. And then started researching, and then it was like, I can do this. So really, for the one thing I've got for anybody out there, for a family to go, yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Right.
But for a couple or even for a solo,
Yeah.
go. You're going to have the time of your life. Learn a little bit of Chinese. It's not bad. You don't have to. The main thing you need to do is you need to work out before you get there. You have to, and I know no one can see this. This is constant waving your hand.
Really?
Wave. Constant wave. They're waving. Hi, Mr. Steve. Hey, hi, everybody. Waves.
Wow.
And it's great.
It's
the cast members and everybody's just awesome there. So, Yep.
All right, Steve, we can't thank you enough, but that was just great. A lot of good information, and I think you put the want and need into a lot of us Disney fans. So
I hope so, because it's a wonderful place, and everyone should go.
All right. Hey, if you want to follow more, Steve, you're on Facebook, right?
Yep, Facebook under Steven Sanders. I'm on Twitter at Lancelot62, which I'm never there, so I'm trying to start to do more. But yeah, right now on Facebook, and getting ready to crank up an Instagram and a YouTube page. So
awesome.
You'll find out about that one on the Facebook. So
right, that's good.
And guys, thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
The Disney Parks podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.
Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through.